Okay guys, so I said in my update thingy, if you couldn't tell, I'm filming like loads of videos in one go. Same outfit, same day, why not? Productive day off I'm feeling. I thought I'd do a video on my hair extensions. I got Keratin ones, so I thought I'd do. I haven't seen many videos on that are quite informative, and yeah, so I thought I'd kind of do one on my experience so far. I'll do an update in a couple of weeks, and I'll just get on to all the details about this type of hair extension. I've written some notes. Nerd life. My extensions that I got are pre-bonded, I believe, U-tip extensions. They are the ones by Beauty Works. They are their celebrity choice pre-bonded, and they, as far as I'm aware, last time I checked, were quite expensive as far as hair comes, but it's good quality hair. And these type of extensions work by fusing the hair to your hair. The extensions are, let's isolate one for you. The extensions are sort of quite little, and then what they do is it's a flat piece with keratin on the top of it. They get what looks like a mini straightener that's not at that high temperature. They hold it to the top of, they get to the, I'll show you it. They would get the piece of hair and put it underneath, or they did with me anyway. They heat it up with the little melty device, and then once it's melted they roll it with your hair to fuse the two together, and quite often, like they've done with me, they also flatten it so it'll lie flat on your head, and then it's fused. That's pretty much how these extensions work, and they do that however many times it takes to do however much hair you want. So for me that took quite a long time because I wanted a full head. It took about, I've seen a lot of quotes of people saying it takes loads and loads of hours, but for me it took about 2.5 hours for them to do my whole head. I went with my hair freshly washed. I didn't straighten it because I couldn't be bothered, because I knew they'd probably use heat on my hair anyway. I just didn't want to. I just thought it'd be better to go with freshly washed hair, because I know that you can't wash your hair for a while afterwards, which I'll talk about later. My hair, this is the big question that everyone always asks, how much does it cost? That is just entirely dependent on where you go, what type of hair they use, and the length. So, for example, the place I went to, for a full head of extensions, which are 18-inch, although these are a little bit shorter, but I'll talk about that. For a full head of 18-inch extensions, I was charged £300, which is pretty good. I have about 180 bonds in there. I'm not sure if, I mean, I've tried to work that out from how many, she came out with 4 packets of hair, 3 of one colour and 1 of another, and to lay them out, and at the end there was about 17 she didn't use, so each sort of bundle had 50 in it, so I know there's about 180-ish in my head. I went to a place called Vivid Hair Extensions, or Vivid X Hair Extensions, something like that, which I'll link in my descriptions and stuff. And I found them by a model I'd once taken a photo of. She tweeted saying that she wanted to get her hair done this summertime, and someone replied and said, go to Vivid. So I thought I'd look into them, and everything that they do looks incredible. All of their Instagram is just before and afters, and all the stuff they do to hair, they look absolutely fantastic. So I went there and I booked a consultation, and I went there and she basically just said to me, you know, I asked for what I wanted done. And another good thing that they got you to, which I thought was interesting, is, you know, before you get like a piercing, people like get you to read, obviously, like, I agree to this, this and this. They had something like that for hair, which was really interesting. First of all, you got given a piece which basically said asked you what type of hair extensions had you had before, so I think it was assessing whether these are the right type for you, and if you know what you're doing with them, what colour your hair is naturally, what type of hair, is it thick, fine, do you have a lot of it, how processed is it quite dry, and other things like that, so they've got an idea of what you want, which I think is really good. They then give you I got an A4 sheet that had all this information of things I really didn't know. I'd done a lot of research into this type of hair extension, but there were certain things that I really didn't know. For example, they have a list of products that you don't want to use on your hair. I did not know that. I knew that it's best to use a sulfate-free shampoo. I, however, did not know that it's not advised, or they don't advise, for you to use any herbal essences, Garnier Fructus, and I think there's another one I can't think of. It might have been something like Tresemme, that they advise not to use on your hair extensions because they're high in citric acid and it weakens the bonds. I didn't know that. I thought it was really interesting that they had all these things. It was a massive sheet on basically all the aftercare, which I might actually, because there's a PDF, I might insert a picture to show you all the information that is on there, which I found really, really interesting. I found it really good because there was a lot of things I actually didn't know. A lot of things I did know, for example, that you can't, it's advised for you not to tie your hair up for 48 hours and to not get your hair wet. That's so that the extensions can fully fuse to your hair and so that they can lie flatly, because if you tie your hair up while it's still adjusting to your hair, it might just kind of sit at an awkward angle, which one of mine has done from me sleeping. It's kind of decided to just kind of poke this way, so if I want to have my hair flat against my head, I have to try and like force this one over here to go flat because it doesn't want to do that. There's a lot of information that I found really interesting and actually really helpful that I didn't really know. I've already mentioned I've got 18 inches, but I think it's slightly less because when she had the 18 inches, because they, in this place I go to, they covered up the mirrors, which I thought was really good because at the end it's like a big reveal and you can see your new hair. But I could see from doing it, they initially I think came down to sort of around my waist sort of length, but they even them up to obviously make them look a lot thicker, and they do look a lot thicker when you cut them down. The length I'm happy with because I mean it's going to grow with my hair anyway. Part of me would have gone slightly longer, but when I was being asked about what size I wanted, what length I wanted initially, I was told that 20 to 18 is a good inch if you want long hair. 20 is good, but the only problem with 20 is that with it being longer it takes the volume out of the top, which makes total sense, and it's a hell of a lot more expensive. Colour wise, I'm not actually sure. I think, I mean she matched this to my hair absolutely perfectly, like she just looked at it and just sort of knew. I think it was 3 bundles of, I would have said a colour like 613 or 60, because I know they have 60, and one of, I think it was like a multi-tonal, because there were some strands where she'd get and put 2 bonds on the same one, like there's a darker strand here, and that was sort of like a blonde and a colour, like I don't know what colour that is. I really should have asked her, and in future I will find out what colour that was. Another thing I think that's really, really good about where I went, so this is like an added mini review on them. On their website, I've never found this with any other place. If you want to get hair extensions, they always just say come in for a quote, which is fair enough. However, on their website, they have, it's incredible. It's the only place I've ever seen do this. They have a complete breakdown of all of their prices. In fact, I've got like some price lists on my thing. I might actually get it to show you. Yeah, I've actually got their price lists and everything because I took some because they do a lot of beauty stuff as well. And I think I suppose I'll add in like a mini review on them because they are so good and more people need to go to them. They are amazing. They have basically on their website, and obviously in store I didn't know they had these, they have a complete breakdown of all their prices. So say for example they've got all different sections. They've got partial, half head for short hair, half head for long hair. Then they have 16 inches and then they have a full head or a full head double. I think that's if your hair is thicker. Then 18, 20, 22. They have breakdowns of all the prices, and even with say 18 onwards they've got full head ombre if you want that. Like they've got a complete breakdown of every price, so you know, like you've got an idea in your head of how much it's going to be. And the good thing is when you have a consultation, they can tell, I think, from obviously looking how much hair they're going to need, and they give you an appointment card for you actually getting the hair fitted and put in and everything. And they put the price on there, but they don't. I like that they don't actually say it out loud because it's obviously a lot of money to be talking about, and I found that really respectful that they just go, oh, this is how much it's going to be for you. I like that, it's good. So yeah, that's pretty much all the stuff on my experience of having them put in. And yeah, so this hair is, as I said, is the Beauty Works one, which is, I couldn't stop stroking it, and it's really, really shiny, and I think this morning I did my 3rd wash on it, and it's still feeling amazing. When I'm pulling it and I'm round brushing it, I get scared, like, oh no, I'm going to pull some out, but I haven't done any of that. Nothing's come out. I read online that it's good to run your hair through sort of where the bonds are to make sure like baby hairs that are growing don't get knotted in. So I've done that, but I know I touch the bonds so much because of the next section I will get onto, which is like the initial, what it's going to be like after you've had them done. For the first, I found 3 nights it was a bit awkward to sleep on, but not painful like I found the micro link ones. I found those excruciating to sleep on, they just dug in. Whereas these, it's just kind of placing your head, it feels a bit awkward because you don't want to like tear your whole head or anything. It just feels awkward to sleep on, but after 3 days they settle. After the first week or so, I found like I can sleep on them easily, and for me, my whole head was itching. I can scratch my hair, but it was just really, really itching, and especially around the nape, from about my ears down, it was just horrendous. For me, it's now been 2 weeks today I had my extensions put in, and the itching is starting to really go. I mean, it still itches when if I tie my hair up and it's pulling on the hairs on my neck, or the ones on my nape, which is the only thing, my only complaint about really, is that when I tie my hair up, or if I have my hair at the wrong angle, the ones on my nape seem to pull quite a bit and they're uncomfortable. But I think that might be just me getting used to having them in. Today they're itching a little bit around where my ears are, and that's pretty much it. When I tie them up, it itches a little bit more, but you know, nothing I can't get on with. And I know that from what people have said, I've read some people it takes 3 weeks for the itching to fully go, which I can deal with. I can tie my hair up fine without any of these bonds show. I think the hair that I have is about, I think they're all individually like a gram, I think they are. Yeah, they must be. I don't know if you can see the bonds there, but they are quite small. They're flat. The placement they've done really well, because she obviously left, I think it's like what most people do, like an inch around, so you can tie your hair up and they won't be shown, which is great. Onto the aftercare of what to use and what I've been using. First of all, when I saw these products that they said on the list you shouldn't use, I was like, oh shit, what if I can't use I've just bought a new shampoo and conditioner. I thought, what if I can't use them on there? But the shampoo's sulfate free, and I thought I'd gamble it and use them anyway. And it's just made my hair feel really amazing, even on these, so I've got no complaints about using them. And if you're interested as to what they are, I've been using the Paul Mitchell Forever Blonde line. I've been using the whole line, including the oil treatment. Shampooing is a little bit awkward because you can do all this bit fine, and then I tend to then lift my hair up and then make sure I've got it all under this bit, which obviously gets all hot and gross and sweaty, and then I try and work a little bit into where all the bonds are. At first I think it's knowing how much pressure to use in between the bonds, which is a bit awkward, but I think I've now worked out how much I need to use, so that's fine. Conditioner, you just obviously need to make sure, I mean before I'd slather it everywhere, but now because I don't want the bonds to slip, I will do it from like here downward, just to make sure my bits of hair obviously are okay and these are nice and conditioned. Okay, so once I've then washed my hair and conditioned it, I then get out of the shower and I then use the Paul Mitchell Forever Blonde Dramatic Repair Treatment. It's basically like an oil, and I make sure to keep that from here down. So basically the blonde bit, well, the bleachy blonde bit, that's where I put it. And it just works like basically like an oil treatment to kind of make my hair not so fucked. Then I usually go in with the Paul Mitchell Super Skinny Serum, and again I keep that in the lower half just to keep, because if you put it too high it just makes your hair look really greasy and not pleasant. If my hair was particularly feeling dry, so far I've used it once, but I felt like I didn't actually really need it. Before I put in the Paul Mitchell Oil Dramatic Repair Treatment, I'd sometimes go in with the Paul Mitchell. It's just like a Paul Mitchell endorsement. It's not, but you know, I love them. I'd go in with Paul Mitchell's original leave-in conditioner, just for something before that if I really need it. Heat protectant, which when I'm blow drying my hair, I use the Heat Seal from Paul Mitchell, or I've got a one from Superdrug, which is over in my little collection, but I don't often use that one. I'll probably use that one when this is gone. And if I'm straightening or curling my hair, I use the hot off the press. Just because it just seems to work better for that, and it really holds it. Hairsprays I've been using, again, I've got this one to hand, so I'll show you that. The Freeze and Shine. I've got the one with the purple top, the extra, what is it called? Extra Body Firm Finishing Spray. I've got that hairspray. I've also been using that more for spraying down the back part if I've been sleeping on my hair and then I've got maybe one at the top showing and I want to brush my hair and keep it in place. Usually just to spray all over my hair, I've been using the Giovanni, I think they call it the Maximum Hold, but it's nothing like a Maximum Hold. It's kind of more flexible, I just like that as a, sometimes I do it after I've straightened my hair just to make sure it stays straight as an extra added bonus. And I then also, like today after straightening my hair, I didn't hairspray it, but I then did use the Giovanni Shine of the Times just to give it a bit more extra shine and niceness. But that's pretty much all I've been using on my hair. Another thing to mention is that when you go to sleep, you need to make sure you either tie your hair up in a low ponytail or braid it or something to stop it getting knotted and matted while you sleep. Brushes, this is one thing I completely forgot. You want to use on your hair a soft bristle brush. So for me, I'm using this like cheapy one with this lovely added hair that's gross from Hedgehog, which is just a nylon bristle brush, which is really soft. And obviously, some people will use ball ones, but I don't endorse those ones. I don't like them at all, but this works fine. I mean, initially I was going to be using my initially I was just going to be using my Tangle Teaser, which is great, but ever since I've got this brush, I just seem to favour it just because it's great. It doesn't pull on my hair at all. It leaves it really smooth and shiny, and I'm obsessed with this brush, even though it was really, really cheap. So yeah, you need to use a soft bristle brush because obviously you don't want to pull on your hair, and the best thing to do is to start brushing your hair from the lengths upward, essentially, but not like this. I mean, basically hold your hair and brush it this bit first to get all the knots out, then move your hand up, and then, you know, lightly do the top, because that way you're not just going to be pulling on your hair getting all those knots out if it's knotted, but it shouldn't be that knotted if you've got good quality hair put in and you're taking care of it. As for brushing over the top, a lot of people would say use a really super soft bristle brush, and some people say that this isn't that like soft enough, whereas I don't understand what they're on about really, because I mean, I don't push when I brush over here, over the bonds, I do take care. I don't just go for it. I kind of get this bit of hair and then kind of almost scoop it out, but that's because I'm taking care. And again, the same with this, this one I can seem to just be able to go straight over because it's quite soft. But you don't want to use a normal brush because then they'll get stuck in the bonds. I've tried using a loop brush and that was nice on the ends, but it didn't really seem to work the same as this, and this just seemed to add shine to my hair and just works better all round. So it's kind of my new favourite brush, which I never thought anything could replace a Tangle Teaser. I'm yawning, why am I yawning? What is wrong with me? As I said, I'll update you to let you know how these are going for me in a couple of months, and I'll probably do some hair videos because I've got some things I need to review as well, so we'll see how that goes. But if there's anything more you need to know or want to know or I didn't answer, comment below and I will answer your questions. If you wanted to see a before and after, here you go, that's their before and after. They always take a picture before you have your hair done and one afterwards so that you can see the result. But they're just brilliant and I absolutely adore these, and I never want to have them taken out of my head, ever. But thank you for watching these videos, guys. I hope it gave you an idea about fusion extensions. I mean, I know I didn't really go into too much detail about how they put them in, but that's because it's been covered so many times and there's so many videos you can watch on that, and I just wanted to kind of give you an actual, my experience of everything kind of video, which everything so far has been positive. So yeah, thank you for watching this, and I will see you in the next video, whenever that may be. Bye guys!